Depression and Oppression, Part 3. We're going to talk about elements for depression, and then we're going to give details for the elements. And we're going to put the elements into categories. Okay, we have the first category leading to major depression is anxiety and stress. And the next category is leading to depression. And the next step is leading to major depression. So the anxiety and stress after a period of time, according to the individual, change to depression. And it's according still to the individual in that stage where that it changes to major depression. So what I call that is states of the mind, from one state to the change to another state, to the change to another state. And this is how the mental mind work as far as the depression disease. I'm just gonna go into that part. And where anxiety and stress come from, where there's a lot of different things, in life where anxiety and stress can come from. We know that we suffer stress every day of our lives, and anxiety is occasionally when someone suffers anxiety, sometimes anxiety gets worse and worse. Some people have anxiety attacks, and when they have anxiety attacks, it goes to the next stage of depression. Now, which can lead to the deadly stage of major depression. And I know that when you're suffering anxiety, you get this feeling, it's really deep emotional feeling, where that you can't control it. It's just like rushing through your mind, rushing through, just like you're in a nervous wreck. It's just rushing through you, and it's rushing through your heart, and it's beating your anger to death. I mean, sometimes when you're into that anxiety, it's just beating you down. It's just hurting. It's like you're in a rush for something that's not even there. You're in a rush for something that you may not even necessarily have to be in a rush for it. And it's like part of your nervous system. Your nerves is doing that. It makes you really rush over something that it may be the simplest thing that you don't need to rush for, but it puts you in that rushing mood. It makes you feel that you can control the nerve, the system that's in your brain, and it's just rushing to death. It's just it's such a nasty, hurting feeling when you're under anxiety. It's something that it cannot be controlled unless you're taking medicine, and it hurts. It's painful. You actually feel painful when you're suffering anxiety. And stress comes with stress and anxiety together is very dangerous, because stress, as we know, is no good for the heart. And we could pick up stress maybe from foods we eat, or maybe the job we work. Sometimes we can work at a job and we're not supposed to be there. We're just not comfortable there. It's not that the people are not doing with us. See, we have like a nature inside of us where that we have to be settled. We have to fit in. And every job you get, you don't fit in with the group, and you may have to change the employment because you don't fit in, you see, and you don't see eye to eye. You just don't. I mean, everywhere you go, you just don't fit in. You're not gonna be friends with everybody in the world, but you're gonna be friends with those that have a common interest as you do. And a lot of times people say, "Oh, I got this good job. I'm gonna hold on to this good job, and I'm not gonna let it go no matter what." But if that job is causing you a lot of anxiety, maybe you don't fit in that job. Maybe you need to find you another job where that you can fit in. And I think employers need to give that a great consideration because they'll see that a person can do a job, but that don't mean necessarily they belongs there. Maybe it's something around them, around their presence that just don't make them a part of the people they're associating with. And it's just nature. That's why we have so many different religions. Some people pick denominations or non-denomination or different religion because something about it is compelling. Something about it they can work with it. And that's the same thing when you pick your church, you know, and you pick that particular church because you feel comfortable in that church. You can work in that church. That church is working for you. That church is a blessing to you. And this is the way you have to pick your job. You have to pick your job like a religion. You have to pick your job with a group of people. That's why you have to do research before you get a job. Before you go for any job, you should do a research. See what type of people they are. Do they have a lot of arguments? Do they have a lot of fuss? Do they have a lot of complaints? Find out what those complaints that the employee makes about that job before you go into that job. Learn that job. That is the best way to say you want to be a part of that job is to find as much as information about that job because that can lead you to stress and anxiety, and you'll find yourself just staying there for the money or something. But in the on the long run, you're killing yourself. You're killing yourself. You knock yourself right out the workplace. Like a couple of years ago in the '90s, in the early '90s, how all the people in New York was quitting their jobs or was being on disability because of stress and anxiety. It was forming in depression. Some of them from depression went to major depression, but then they couldn't work anymore because their whole body had broke down because of their workplace. And then that's just one category of where anxiety and stress can come from. Besides work, the food you eat, has a definitely can put stress and anxiety on you, like too much salt and sugar and fast food and all the wrong foods that we eat every day and we consume up in us because we're taught not to eat healthy. We always taught to eat wrong. You can remember when you was a child, if you had a skinny child, oh boy, that's a skinny child. The parents must be don't feed them. Then we overfeed ourselves. We overfeed our children. Oh, that child sure look good because it's fat. Now things change, but it's still in us. We have a lot of food here. We eat it. We like season and all that add anxiety and stress, and that can cause you depression, and also it can cause you major depression. Now we have so many different things, under that category of anxiety and stress, in which later on I probably speak of other um, details that is related to anxiety and stress. Now our second